Whether it's in front of or behind the camera, the Denver Film Society recognized that historically, film has been a boys' club. That's why they launched the Women+Film Voices Film Festival, shining a spotlight on females in the film industry. We spent time with festival organizers to learn more.
Stories go back so far to our very roots, and that's how we pass down our culture, that's how we pass down our history, that's how we learn about ourselves and what's happening in our world. I think that film, movies, to me, are the most impactful way of passing on those stories.
Film can influence the way we see the world. Film can influence the way you and I interact. Film can bring about change. I pitched the idea of the festival 5 years ago to the Denver Film Society. When I was watching films to program for the festival, there was a documentary about a woman who brought 12 of her family members over from the Congo during the genocide. And she wanted to go back and start reconciling with her country. So there was a line in the documentary where she said, "If we don't speak up, nobody will know we are here." And the light bulb went off in my head and said, oh my gosh, that's the name of the festival, is Voices, because part of the mission of the festival is to bring stories of women from around the world to the public and to our viewers.
It's so important to have a woman's voice in the storytelling and the world. I mean, over half of the population is women. We want to hear our stories told. And we see the lack of women in the stories because most of the stories are written by men. So I think we're seeing a lack of women's touch in film.
That's not what this documentary is about anymore.
This documentary is you finding truth.
We started filming Bernie, and that's when we realized the depth of what she was going through.
What is the worst fear you have?
It's kind of like all the pieces of my life are coming together in this one big day. Why am I doing this?
When you look at women between the 1920s to mid-60s, they say there were really only 2 women in Hollywood that made movies. With the big studios from 2009 to 2013, 466 movies were made, and only 22 were made by women. That's 4.7%. And it's a little bit better in the independent movies. There's about 17% are made by women, and in documentaries about 35%. Now it goes up and down over the years, but really it hasn't changed a whole lot.
Camera women, it's 2%. Directors, it's at 7 or 8%. And only, I think, 3 or 4 women have ever been nominated for Best Director. So I'm really excited to be back here at the Women+Film screening series. I really love that they empower women and encourage female filmmakers.
Anything that we do that improves their self-image and their confidence, not to be seen as objects, not to be manipulated, to trust their heart, to trust their instincts, and to be ambitious. I think it's all to the good, not just for the girls, but for all of society, because you improve the woman, you improve the family, you improve the next generation.
The festival is such a wonderful way to create community around film. So many people come together, and we'll do introductions of the film and show the films, but we'll always have somebody there with a film to discuss it afterwards.
Meeting the actual filmmakers, talking to them. How did you come up with this idea? What are you going to do next? What were your challenges? Is there any way I can help? It's just invaluable.
I love doing the Q&As at the end of the film and engaging with your audience, so you have an impact. You see that excitement right after they walk out of the theater. There's just like, if they really liked the film, there's just a spark. And to capture that and have a dialogue and to have that engagement with your audience is so important to me as a filmmaker. Because you made it for them and to inspire them and to encourage them to act.
Whenever it comes to showing films, one of the biggest things to look for is, are we entertained? And by that doesn't mean necessarily that it's fun.
She told me that she's gonna be there for a little while, but she told me that to don't be sad because she's always there.
even if it's a hard topic that we might be showing. I just can't say enough about how many people have come up to me after a film and said, oh my God, I didn't know. So I'm always surprised at how many people we are actually educating by showing our films. Why I love film festivals so much is the ability to connect an audience with a story. And I don't think there's any other medium that does that.
There's just an energy about it and an empowerment that comes from that, and encouraging the other, future filmmakers.
Film can do that. It certainly has helped me, and I think it helps a lot of other people as well.
Films can create empathy, they can promote understanding, and they can even create social change.